Right, so we're back. This is later on in the day, and I have completed my raids for the day, and it's not the greatest day in the world, as you can see. However, it finished off really rather well. First few raids that I've run today were with the kind of Mass Witch Giant and Bowler comp. That was working okay. You know, this is one of the El Clasico bases that's really rather hard to funnel. And what I do at this one is basically charge in from one side, not really funnel the corners or anything like that. Bang it on a bit. Here we go. You can see got big wall of giants, wall of witches behind them. They're going to take out the buildings. Then I'm going to plot down my wrecker, concentrate the bowlers on a specific area, which is a bad idea. They should have been at the sides here and down here first, and then in the middle. You're always going to get stuff going around the outside. The thing is that I want that wrecker to make it to the core. That's quite key, really. God knows why I put a jump spell there. That should have been a rage. I was wondering why I didn't have one at the end of it. Anyway, the town hall is actually going to go down, somewhat unbelievably. Still managed to find the tornado track. I was hanging onto the Royal Champion so she could go for it, and instead I'm just going to basically sacrifice her for a scatter shot and a couple of discos, or a bite of a disco. Disco Inferno, by the way. And then stuff's going to make it around the outside, and I'm going to get a decent percentage. Other attacks that I've run with that recently have not really been going well. And I kind of abandoned it. I have invested in super minions, and I have done some pretty good high percentage, 90+% FCs with them. And the way that I was using them was essentially like a queen charge, and almost as if you were doing queen charge hogs or miners or anything like that. You can see that the 3 raids I've done with them didn't go brilliantly. 68% of stuff, and the reason is in this one, in hindsight, what I should have done here is to I'm bringing, as you can see, I'm bringing a Zap Quake. I've got rages, jumps, wall breakers for queen charging, and a couple of freezes, and then 16 of the super minions. And what I should have done here is to Zap and Quake on the tile in between these 4 defences, launching the Royal Champion, immediately destroy those, clear some of the trash buildings here, well, maybe not actually, but set my queen off here, my king, or perhaps some of the super minions. Those are on ground, aren't they? A couple of super minions to clean these, and then break her into this section here if possible, and this one. Get her to get all of those stuff. I would pull the CC troops, which is actually just turns out to be 3 ice golems. Come into a lot of fire, so she would need the warden with her. And then the idea is, you know, I've cleaved then quite a portion out of the base, and I would be able to like charge off a load of minions. I'm using them as I go to help with the walk and the charge, and then clean up other stuff. And time is always the issue in the FCs. And it just requires, you must keep the queen, I must keep, can't say it, must keep the queen alive. So in this case, put the queen down first. No need to rage her immediately. 2 balloons, take up all those traps. I'm expecting there to be more stuff here. She's got to face the king. She's going to have 1, 2, 3, and then possibly 4 ground expos on her. So she needs the warden with her, and she needs raging. In go the WBs. There we go. Pretty much know you're safe there. And she's going to just take an absolute chuffing pounding. An absolute pounding. At one point I thought, no, she's going to go all miles away. But she didn't. That Super Mini gets absolutely dicked by a black bomb. And then she's just off. She's off on one. Can't break her in, so I've got to jump her in. Or do I? Yeah. She sort of wraps back round. My Warden's dead. The RC's going to die in a second. Just not good. And from that point on, I'm recovering. Not the greatest base. Not the greatest base for it at all. Another comp would be better for something like that. So I'm abandoning that. And what I have done, if I go to my training queue, is I am going to try one of these tomorrow again. I can't say I'm particularly enjoying it because it's spam troops, so I'm going to get shot at that in a moment. This comp, I have been using a very similar thing, but with 5 hounds, 4 hounds, a bunch of minions, and I've sort of replaced some of the stuff with 3 super minis. Because I'm finding that they're really, really good for helping me path my queen. Bit of cleanup, taking out, key strategic structures really well. They outrange seemingly everything, even multi-target infernos, I believe. They were incredibly useful, and that's my bats. So I bring a Zapper Quake for the RC. Probably the RC. That's generally what I'm looking for. I've got generally bringing a freeze. I think I actually bring a rage this time. So I've got 2 rages, a couple of freezes, obviously for the bats. So let's jump into my 3-star, which I think is possibly one of the best attacks that I've ever done. Being modest, but not. So I am going to, he's got single, 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 splash, splash, splash and splash. Now that is barely over this, as is that. And I'm going to make this up on the fly, but what I am going to start off by doing is I am going to clear some of the stuff out of here, and I'm going to try to use super minions to get rid of this, because I suspect that there are Teslas around here, because people are now expecting you to do the zap RC stuff. But I am going to zap the tile just immediately above this disco. So I'm going to zap this, and get rid of those with the RC. But I don't want her to be distracted by that. I want her to use her ability to get rid of this stuff. And then I'm going to plop my first Earth Golem over here, my king. He's going to start moving up this way, and then my queen. And I ideally would like my queen to come into this section, and I would like her to kill this little lady, pardon me, this lady and him, and the very debatable if she'll have enough oomph in her to get that down. What that's going to leave me with is a nice path through this part of the base over here. I'm going to have plenty of hounds to get me through these 2 ADs, and then I'm going to fly across over here and hopefully distract from this. That's roughly the idea. That's going to be a problem. And yeah, my son is whining in the background. So here we go. Zap's down nice and early. Minion should have gone down first, but he's going to do an awful lot of work. This is how strong they are. This boy takes some real serious pounding from this archer tower. The other one's helping, and I don't think I need to invest another one at this point, because he is going to take out that archer tower. No Tesla's popped just yet. Until then. So I was kind of right. Not quite where I was expecting it. Could have got a little bit more value out of that, because I could have waited and taken a chunk out of there, but I was really concerned that she gets down the Royal Champ as well, because obviously the Royal Champ will chase down and kill my balloons. So first Ice Gollies go in, one after the other. When it freezes, in go the WBs, and they fail to get me in because the Warden snipes one. But the wall is weakened. Bust the king ability. Force the queen inside. And she's going to do a fine job of work for me now, because she's going to get the Warden, the queen, the single, the cannon. And here we go with the blimp. So those 2 cocoa loons take care of a couple of bombs. And blimp finds even more, but those sweepers are not doing anything about that whatsoever. Dragon survives, takes care of that sweeper for me. That's so lucky. Really lucky. In comes the Lalo. Say Lalo, it's not really Lalo, it's kind of like spamming stuff. Oh, I just noticed, Warden's on ground. Yeah. I don't like the new Warden skin, by the way. Really rubbish. Anyway, so, yeah. Balloons moving through. Mats go down. I don't even know if I needed to freeze. Warden, that wizard tower was targeting the balloons. This one's targeting balloons, but he's dead. And this is absolutely crushed. Just look how much stuff I've got left over. It's such a powerful attack. Here we go. Let's literally clean it. I was looking at the king. At this point, I was going, oh, you are absolutely kidding. And then it was triple. So, yeah, there we go. I'm going to possibly do some drag attacks tomorrow. I've been watching the Worlds and been watching the guys using few balloons, dragons behind, and then super minis behind them. Seems to be working well. Style of attack I quite like. Whether I can mix it in with a Sui or Queen Charge, I don't know. And we're going to see how it gets along. Alright guys, cheers, Tweed